Peace. What's going on, man? Today is August 6th, and the reason why I say that is because this month is a special month. Not because this is my solar returning month, but because August represents solstice. Originally, this month was not named August, and it was basically for Sirius or solstice. You feel what I'm saying? And in 2 days from now, which is August 8th, which would be the Lion's Gates portal, that is when Sirius rises at its highest. That's when our sun, right, is in his home sign, which is Leo, and it's aligned with Sirius. And that's a time for a lot of manifestation. Anything that you need, anytime you want to, anytime you want to manifest something, or whatever the fuck, you feel what I'm saying? Like, this is the time for it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, in the ancient times or whatever, this was basically around the time of our new year, when Sirius rose. And this is when Sirius is at its highest, and it stays there for a long time. So don't just think that, after August 8th or whatever, you won't be able to do nothing if you're busy or if you missed that or whatever. Because it's going to stay there for at least a good 2 weeks. It's going to be visible. I know if you're in the East Coast, you'll be able to see it. I don't know too much about the Midwest because, that's where I'm from. But I never was really able to see stars like that where I'm from. But, yeah, man. Today, well, not just today, but like this entire month, it's you should be focusing on self-transformation. I mean, you should be focusing on self-transformation, period. But now more than ever. You get what I'm talking about? I keep saying how much we done left the dark ages or whatever. Now we in the golden ages and all of that shit. I keep talking about it. Now is the time. It is truly the time. See, they got your head fucked up with this light and darkness shit. And we just gonna keep it real, you feel what I'm saying, and say what it is. They say darkness is black, and then they say the light is motherfucking, what do you call that shit? Is the white. And if you want to say it, people, you feel what I'm talking about? White people, black people, if you want to say that shit. But black, the word black, the true meaning of black, what it does, what it is, what it represents, you feel what I'm saying? It represents the absorption, the total absorption of all energy. You get what I'm saying? All energy. That's UV rays, that's infrared, what do you call that shit? Microwaves. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of wave of energy. Black. What black is, the color, whatever you want to concept, absorbs that light. White light, or just white period, what it does, what it is, it's reflective. So that means it's doing that because of something else. It's bouncing off of something else. You feel what I'm saying? It's coming out of something else. It's being projected from somewhere else. You feel what I'm saying? They got your head fucked up. And now is the time more than ever to be tapping into that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know you getting some spiritual shit done, some spiritual work done when you got some resistance that you can't see, some unseen resistance. You go about your life and you like, man, I feel like I'm doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? This is where you fuck up at, because you know you doing everything right, but when you get that feeling like, man, I feel like I'm doing something right, and when one fucked up thing happen, you just think it's something outside of you fucking with you. And while that can be true, and what I mean by what that can be true, I mean shit, the universe could be against you. You get what I'm saying? Like, when you start to tap into your soul, you start to go past the spirit. You've been past the humanity part if you done tapped into the spirit. But tapping into your soul, that solar aspect of your being, when you tap into that, you push past the spirit. And the spirit is what's keeping humanity together. You get what I'm saying? That and everybody that's holding on to this shit. So when you tend to step outside of that circle, that cipher, that reality of life, it starts to work against you, because now you're not working with it. You're working against it. So we gotta use this time now more than ever for what we need to get done. Like, if you feeling like, man, I gotta get me some money, I have to have some form of prosperity in my life, I have to do this, I. Now's the time to contemplate on that, meditate on that, visualize and actualize the shit. Because the gate that's opening up, think about it, August is the 8th month, right? And August 8th, this is the 8th day, it's 8-8, double eights. Put the 8 to the side, that's infinity. That's symbolic to us. You get what I'm saying? So it's a very, 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 very lucky day. You get what I'm talking about for us. Now, you can go so deep as to travel these portals. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've been fucking with the Lionsgate portal for a year. I had an experience, and I've talked about this, and I'm probably gonna talk about this a long time. I had an experience on August 8th. That's when I had my ego death. And shit, to be honest with you, that's how I learned about it, because I was wondering, like, why the fuck I never experienced this type of ego death or experience, period, ever. Why haven't I never experienced that before? And I was just trying to figure it out, and then it ended up learning that day was the Lion's Gates. I ain't never heard of that shit up until that point. So now I'm well aware of it. It's a very powerful day. You can feel the energy that day and after that. You could just feel it in the atmosphere. See, because the people that you think that you hate, the niggas that think that they are actually in power, you get what I'm saying? It's over with for their ass. You feel me? It's absolutely over with. I told you. Ain't nobody make up COVID-19. If they made COVID-19, right, just I mean, you know, they'll do whatever, but let's have a logical mind. Sometimes, at some point in time, in consciousness, you have to use your logic. It's a part of you, so you gotta use it. So, if I wanna wipe out an entire race of people because you got dumb niggas that say it's man-made to kill us, and just because somebody died from this shit, that does not mean that it was man-made to kill us. Because it's only been one target, one absolute target, as far as killing the people off for genocide. It's been one motherfucking target, and that was us. So why the fuck, if we created this, why the fuck wouldn't we just blame, like, kill the entire Africa? You feel what I'm saying? Why don't we just do that? Kill the entire Africa and just say, like, you know, blame it on COVID. Wouldn't that be the smartest thing to do? Get rid of it, right? What can we do if it's a disease, right? Wrong. You feel what I'm saying? That shit ain't bad, babe. That shit come from the cosmos. That shit is here to help us. And they know it. You don't know it, but they know it, so they tell you to put a mask on. Then they say, we got a vaccine. Now, if anybody's familiar with the CDC and their regulations and how they do shit, it takes at least 18 months for them to confirm a fucking vaccine. They got this vaccine did right away. Right a fucking way. You feel what I'm saying? That goes to show you, man, it's to further fuck us up. You know what I'm saying? Try to get us up off of our path, try to unalign us, try to dismember us further. You feel what I'm saying? Our subconscious mind is fucked up. Like I said, it's been dismembered. And we are to remember each and every last one of our past lives through past life regression. Figure out what we were doing with certain chakras. Figure out what we were doing with certain energies, how we were dealing with certain energies, what energies were we resonating with through past lives. You feel what I'm saying? It's a pattern, and we have to figure out that pattern so we can get back on our path. And every single day is something that's coming up. Every single day is something that's coming up. Every single day is something that's new. Before I forget, I want to give a shout out for those of you that don't know, and I'm pretty sure it's people that do know. I posted this on my Instagram. My Instagram is I am BabaAkil-Lion. But for those of you that's not on my Instagram, because I don't really be on it like that, I want to give her a shout out because he's not dead. He's still here in the physical. I want to give a shout out to Jesse Eugene Russell because he is modern day confirmation. Modern fucking day confirmation that ain't shit new under the sun. Now, I done said this, that the computer that you probably watching this on, laptop, whatever the fuck, the inside, the whole motherboard is set up and built like the entire pyramids over there in Kim. You get what I'm saying? Now, that right there just shows you that there's nothing new under the sun. You watch Night at the Museum. I don't know the dude name with the long ass nose. You watch the dude, you watch that little white dude in fucking Night at the Museum or whatever. I think it's number 2 where they had the tablets. You feel what I'm saying? Those are Egyptian tablets. It's a tablet. You feel what I'm saying? You already know that gold, it's a golden tablet, so you already know that gold is a very conductive metal. You get what I'm saying? You use this to conduct energy. You feel what I'm talking about? These motherfuckers, I know what these motherfuckers doing. You know what these motherfuckers was doing. You just watch the movie and think it's just something, it's just anything. And then they can give you this bullshit ass technology and you'll be like, damn, you know, we evolving or whatever. But any to further give you more confirmation that it's our shit, your phone, the TV, the laptop, cars, airplanes, all this shit, the element that gives it life comes from Africa. But besides all of that, I want to shout out to motherfucking Jesse Eugene Russell. I think he'd be like 73 or whatever. Well, he is 73 or some shit like that. But this is a black man, right? This is a black man, and he's responsible for the digital cell phones. He's the chairman and a chief executive officer of INC Networks, responsible for 4th generation or 4G. So while everybody was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the 5G, you had motherfuckers that was talking about 4G and speaking against it. Well, this was a black man that created this shit. You talk about black old businesses, all you niggas out there right now that's talking about cell phones because you think you smart and all that shit, a black man made it. Now what you got to say about that? And no, he did not work for a white man. The company, the employer that he created this under, the patents that he created this under was his company, nigga. This nigga's still alive. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to the God, man. Because I wouldn't be on this iPhone that I'm talking to you on right now. You feel what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to communicate like this right now. I would just be relying on this, which is absolutely fine. But we have been so fucking mind controlled and domesticated to where we feel like we need a phone. And we do, because our minds are so fucked up that 90% of us, 95% of us, 99.9% of us can't even use our motherfucking mind. Earlier, I spoke about darkness. Darkness and, well, black and darkness, you know, it's nothing scary about it per se, as far as all of the shit in the movie. I'm pretty sure we passed all of that. But let me try to make it better for motherfuckers to understand. You have light and you have darkness. That light is the material world, the glamour and the beauty. It's the false idealization that everything is gonna be okay as long as I do right by the next individual. If I do right by the next individual, good karma will come back on to me. We forget that when we do good to motherfuckers, fucked up shit still happen to us. But if I continue to do it and turn the other cheek, shit will be good. And then I might get a blessing or a gift from a spirit guide or a guardian angel. I might accommodate that shit to God. So or not accommodate, but give that shit, pay homage to an entity outside of me. You feel what I'm saying? Something that doesn't exist, that I created for the sole purpose for me to worship. That's what you niggas doing. So that's what the fuck light is, right? And it's nothing bad for that, because you can use it to fucking serve you, but that's not what you're using it for. Even the individuals that come and say, you know, we're gods and we're goddesses, how are you a god and you're a goddess, or a god and a goddess, if you are using, I don't give a fuck if it comes from Africa, you using a tradition that's old as fuck, that we created, that we don't need no more, that's actually mind controlling us. Hey man, this bitch told me to wear white, right? She say, you should wear more white. See, motherfuckers don't know me. Motherfuckers look at me and they say, I'm probably stressed and I'm this and I'm that. And that's probably true, but I don't feel it. I'm mad and all that shit or whatever. And that's probably true. You get what I'm saying? That's probably true. But, hold on. That's because of tradition or a system comes from Africa and all that shit or whatever. It does not mean that you use that shit, you know what I'm talking about, like you go by the book and all of that shit or whatever. You're not real just because you going by the book and all of that shit. All that shit is already inside of us. It comes out of us. So the book don't mean nothing. The book was how that certain individual would interpret the knowledge that he was given from within. And he put that shit on paper. It just so happened the culture, the society back in the day, all of those individuals or whatever happened to be tapped in, so they knew to take the knowledge the way they were supposed to take it, and not take it as like, man, we're supposed to worship, we're supposed to do this, that, and the third. It's not like that. You feel what I'm saying? So like I was saying, female gonna tell me to wear white, right? She said, you gotta wear white. You gotta wear white for Obatala. Woo, right? Now Obatala, those of you who don't know who Obatala is, he is what is the father of the head, the god of the head, keeper of the head, order of the head. Now Obatala symbolizes the crown chakra, right? Now he's supposed to have control over your head or whatever the fuck. And now these motherfuckers tell you to wear white, right? Wear white. Remember what I told you what white was? White is reflective. It's reflecting all the colors. Is that a good thing? Or is that a bad thing? You are projecting. You feel what I'm saying? You are projecting everything that you have. You get what I'm saying? Everything you get and everything you have. Or when you're not even able to get anything, you got all this motherfucking white on. Because it's reflecting everything. And they coming in and they eating all that shit right up. All the energy that you give it off, they come in, they eat it all right up. You ever heard somebody say when you wear black outside in the sun, it's too hot because it absorbs all the heat? Heat is a form of light. Infrared. You feel what I'm saying? When you wear black, it absorbs all the light. It absorbs all the energy. So when you into these different religions and different spiritual systems and all that shit or whatever, and your BabaAkil-Lion or your priestess tell you, you gotta wear white, you shouldn't wear black and all that shit, they're telling you that because that energy that's involved in all that shit, when you wear this, you absorb it. See, but the energy that you think that you're taking in and accumulating all of that shit or whatever and all that, you giving it all away by wearing all of this, thinking you're pure. It's not about that no more. We don't have to wear, what do you call that shit? Ceremonial clothing and all of that shit. Big ass. You wear what the fuck you want. You're a regular individual. You was a regular motherfucker before learning this shit. So you're a regular motherfucker now. You are to build up the God from within. Not this bullshit ass motherfucker that you done built up over time for however many years you've been living in this fake ass simulation. Like, you gotta make this shit make sense for real, for real. And I had to stop my video because people stay knocking on my door. Don't like to be interrupted. So I know y'all probably thinking like, why he just stopped the video? Motherfuckers just be interrupting me. But you know, it is what it is. Business is business, and this is business. And that was business, but this business right here is more important. Now, Lions Gates, man. You could do this or use this for whatever you want to use it for, man. Whatever. This is the time. We applaud and after, because it's not easy to let go with something you think that you are. We have built up false idols, and we worship these false idols. Now, what are these false idols? These false idols are the aspects of ourself that we identify with, the aspects of ourself that come out when we are in fear of criticism, when we are abused, when we are traumatized. We build up these idols, right? We create these idols, and we feed them by protecting them and not stepping outside of them. You yourself are reality within self. To create an entity, a false entity, it's like creating another reality, because all of these different entities, deities, concepts are with realities within themselves. You are the sole controller. You are the soul. So if you create something, whether it's false or not, it's created. Just like these different spirits or whatever, you identify with it, so you feeding it every day because you giving it attention. And your intention is to keep it alive. Your primal instinct, your primal foundation is survival. Well, your primal instinct is survival. And the primal foundation of survival is being a fucking predator. And I be big a fucking predator, a killer. Yeah. Yeah. And it sound crazy, but that's because you done built up this false ass reality that you're a good person. But what the fuck is a good person? See, you have to tap into the dark aspects of yourself. And the dark aspects of yourself isn't something scary. It's just the true aspects of yourself. So, what I mean by your primal instincts is survival. We know our primal instincts is survival, that is, we are to live. So that means instinctively, we are going to live by any means necessary. The foundation that is built upon, right, is being a predator. The primal aspect of that is being a predator. In order to sustain your life, something has to die. You get what I'm saying? Something has to die in order to sustain your life. Now, in the animal kingdom, when you're a lion, when you're a tiger, when you're a shark, when you're anything, and you're hunting your prey, you sitting back, you preying on this individual, this creature, this food source. Now you might say, I'm not doing that. I don't do that at all. Well, don't you go to McDonald's, to the grocery store, sit back and watch your food? You go out searching for what you're about to eat, it don't matter because it's easy to go do it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy, but you still spending some form of energy. You spend money, and money is a form of currency. That's a current of energy. So you still spending some form of energy on this food. Whether it be physically or an extended physical version of energy. The money. Right? Or you actually doing it. You actually going out to hunt, because this has happened. It works both ways. You still a fucking predator. Oh, you don't eat meat. You eat vegetables. So you actually take it's a pure life. You a light vampire. Huh? That's what it is? Because these plants are alive just like you're alive. More so intelligent than you are. Epidermis plants. They know how to use their melanin. Better than you know how to use your melanin. You just self-aware. So you think you more smart or whatever, but you're unaware that the melanin in your body is making it possible for all of this shit. It's making it possible for you to taste. It's making it possible for you to hear. It's making it possible for you to see, smell. You get what I'm saying? This is why we have an astral body. Because the melanin exists everywhere. So when we're able to tap into our melanin, we can hear other realities, other dimensions, smell other dimensions, other realities, and see and perceive this shit. But you're unaware that it's the melanin. Melanin just don't make us black, right? The body, right? This physical body, right, is a result of melanin becoming physical. That's it. But what about the inside? You don't know about the inside because you ain't tapped in. You're looking at the light side. You're looking at light. And none of that shit matters because you can see that the world is fucking up. The world, this fucked up world, this goes with all of that light that you think doesn't. Because it's a part of, what you see is creation. And creation is flawed. So anything that exists inside of creation is flawed. So the only fucking way to fix it, the only way to go about fixing it is to go all the way back. The cycle is over with. So you have to go all the way back to the primal instinct, the primal nature. Right? But the war isn't with the next individual. The war is with the self. See, you're fighting God right now. You feel what I'm saying? After you realize, man, I'm God and none of this shit exists, none of this shit matters or whatever, you realize that it is a greater force that is holding me down here. That greater force is you. Think about all the false idols that you created. Nigga, I'm a thug, nigga. I'm a gangster. I'm this, I'm that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, those are false idols. It don't matter how it sounds. You feel what I'm saying? The gangs, who you think you are, and all of this shit. Whatever you think you are, whatever, is a false idol. God. Because we're not gods. That is a new day concept. A new day concept. You, I, that motherfucker, in this human state cannot comprehend what the fuck we truly are. We can't even perceive it in this human state. The brain can't do it. When you take psychedelics and, like acid, DMT and all that shit, and you have these strong ass visuals or whatever, right? These big ass visions or whatever, and they're showing you all of this shit. That's your mind and your brain trying to explain to you what's going on. And this is why people come out of that like, damn, I saw this and I saw that and I saw this, because they can't perceive that shit. But with study, all of this shit, you got to put all of this shit together. You get what I'm saying? You'll be able to at least comprehend what the fuck was being told to you, because that's all it is. It'd be the same thing, but it's something specifically being told to that individual. And it doesn't matter if they don't get it, because it just is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And they might just go off and just never do it again. Or some people just might be seeking that same experience and get it and won't understand it, because they're just seeking an experience. They're not seeking to further self-transform. The experience was to let you know that, hey, there's something else out here. Hey, this shit ain't real. Hey, this shit is fake. And it's gonna contradict a lot of shit, because guess what? You're gonna find yourself learning something, and then you're gonna find yourself, I thought this was this, I thought this was that, I thought this was that. See, a lot of individuals come across situations like that or feelings like that, because when you're getting certain knowledge, whether it be a book, whether it be a lecture, you get what I'm saying? You have to take that knowledge for yourself. You don't take that individual's knowledge and what they got for themselves. You take the knowledge, the concepts of what they're giving out. You take how they got it, and then what does that mean for you? That's how you do it. You feel what I'm saying? Because you will find, like, learning something else, like, I don't agree with that. You don't agree with it because the nigga that was lecturing you, or the nigga that you're reading, don't agree with this, or what he's saying doesn't agree with that. But it doesn't matter, because you're in it just to get knowledge. You're only in it to get what you need for your path. Point blank, period. Yeah, while all of this applies, how does it fucking apply to your individual path now? Because what you was doing in your past life don't matter if you can't realign yourself with that to get the fuck up out of here. Niggas ain't looking at it like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's way deeper than that. I see niggas on YouTube, man, talking about being celebrities, bro. What the fuck is that? Watch this. It's so funny right here. I see fake conscious niggas get over Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. They talk about celebrities, and all of this bullshit, right? And you talk about it so much that you wouldn't want to be one. Being a conscious individual and knowing what I know about consciousness and this path, there's nothing to celebrate about this motherfucker. What the fuck is we celebrating? Some shit we already know. So we just remembering it. A nigga like me is a nigga that's just helping you remember the shit that you already know. This shit that you coming across that's like, wow. Because I might be saying some shit that's wowing you and whatever. But remember this. You didn't click off the camera or click off the video. And because you didn't click off the video indicates that some way, somewhere, somehow, in the past, you've came across this knowledge, you've known this already. Something brought you here. If you hear something in my video and you like, man, I'm finna get the fuck up out of here, there is a 100% chance that your soul is so young, or you just so mind controlled, or you just isn't ready. You feel what I'm saying? Because ain't no way that this shit don't resonate with all of us. Point blank, period. I wouldn't be sitting up here talking like this, because I'm a Leo and I got too much pride to sit up here and look like I'm wrong. So I'm gonna study this shit to a fucking T. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that. I got too much pride. I'm proud of that. I'm fucking proud of that. You get what I'm saying? Now check me out. It's not about none of that. I see niggas on the net talking about how they are celebrities, but they're doing what I'm doing. They on the camera and they talking and they doing it and they doing this and the third, whatever. But outside of that, they're telling individuals that they're celebrities, bro. What the fuck does that even mean, man? First and foremost, I'm God, right? Second of all, what does that mean to you? Nothing. So, to another motherfucker that don't look like us, right? Why would you tell a motherfucker that? What are you getting out of that? You gotta watch out for motherfuckers like that. Are these motherfuckers truly helping you? For real, for real. And then you gotta watch out for motherfuckers that's trying to get you into a motherfucking system. If the shit didn't come from up out of their mind, if they're by the load, man, I really wouldn't want to fuck with it for real, because that's just telling me that you only reading one book, and now you want me to join this shit, and then later on in life, you making it look like you like the leader. That sounds like a cult to me, which is fine if that cult was, the intentions were enlightenment, not for ruling over motherfuckers or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck how it look right now. When all y'all ass be sitting in front of this motherfucker and you be wondering about how the fuck y'all got here, don't look at me like, bro, you was right. Don't tell me I was right when a motherfucker got you on the brink of suicide. You feel what I'm saying? Don't do it. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are crazy out here, man. It's not about that. You are supposed to be revealing yourself, revealing the light that you found within. By doing this, it's supposed to spark the fire that exists in your brother or in your sister. And their specific flame as individual is different from yours. We are one and we are all collectively together, but collectively and individually, we work out separate paths to pull together a bigger picture. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when all of this shit is done and over with or whatever, we are gonna move on. And I'm not talking right now, in the context I'm talking about when I say we, I'm talking about all of us as a species. We are gonna move on to create more worlds and more realities. This world is a certain scenario. It's a certain situation, and we sit back and we working it out how we working it out. And niggas thinking like, cause when I was a kid, I used to want to be a scientist. And I used to be thinking like, man, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. The same shit they do in the movies or what they say they doing in the science labs right now. But true alchemy, right, is self-transformation. It's a transformation of the soul. You get what I'm saying? True elevation of the consciousness. And that's what we're doing right now. We not in the lab. We not fucking with no test tubes. We not doing none of that shit. They doing that shit because they don't know what to do. They don't know what we're about to become, and they know it's over with. And because of that, they want to further try to keep us locked down here. And you have individuals that look just like us that isn't aware of this, and they're gonna continue. They're gonna continue to be talking about shit they don't even know about. So you gotta watch out for an individual that's like that. Is this motherfucker just telling you some shit because he's smart, because he know this shit or whatever, or is this shit coming from the heart? You get what I'm saying? I'm a nigga that really don't give no fuck about none of this shit for real, for real. I go some days doing videos, and I go some days not doing no videos, but I do these motherfuckers because at the end of the day, I know what time we in. And I'm very big on experiencing. So I had to start experiencing this shit for myself, and I did. You know, it's one thing to learn this shit, and it's one thing to, you know, go within and get the knowledge or whatever, and then trust yourself. It's another thing to be not seeking it and start experiencing this shit. I be telling people I'm invisible, right? People laugh at me. Invisibility is to not be seen. When you watch a movie, they got your mind so fucked up that you think it's a motherfucker that you can see through, which anything is possible. But you got one day, somebody got shot out here, and this lady, where they had got shot at, it was right in front of my little spot. So one of my neighbors was like, she had told the police, you know, where it happened at, and then she said my address. Now, as we going back to the slot, the police like, oh, you can't go in there because this house involved or whatever. I mean, if you don't get your goofy ass on, so I walk off from them because I know my shit wasn't involved. Obviously, it's cameras out here. Obviously, so I'm just about to go tell the office to go tell this white man to shut the fuck up because he don't know what he talking about, right? He talking about, sir, stay right here. I'm not finna, I wave him off. Now, I'm really aggressive with it. I'm not calm or nothing. Usually I am, but since I done got this, and this isn't arrogance, this isn't no ego, this is just, you got me fucked up. You get what I'm saying? This isn't ignorance. I'm not even finna, shut the fuck up talking to me. And I walked off, and I told the people, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because in any other situation, I would have been shot. Or any other black man would have been shot. You get what I'm talking about? But we in a time now where our spiritual rising, our spiritual power and energy is at its fucking, not, I don't want to say at its peak, but it's peaking. You get what I'm saying? It's peaking for a lot of us. So when I say I'm invisible, this nigga, he didn't see me. He didn't see that. You wanna know what he saw? He saw another black man out here that's probably crazy. So I'm gonna leave him alone. Not crazy like I'm scared of this nigga. Like mentally ill, so I'm gonna leave him alone. And I wasn't acting all wild. I just said, bro, get the fuck on. I ain't even get your goofy ass on. And I went to the little office to let the people know, like, hey, check them cameras and show them motherfuckers so I can get back in my slot. Now, all that to say this right here, I'm experiencing that there are homeless people out here on the streets or whatever. These aren't your average homeless people. Crackheads, these aren't your average crackheads. You feel what I'm saying? These are mental health patients that they are letting out on the streets. I'm witnessing this shit with my own eyes. There was a lady out here, this bitch was naked, she always be walking around naked. That's indecent exposure, so you're supposed to be locked up anyway. But they let her walk around naked. Her family came and got her and took her to rehab. It's another lady out here that looks just like her. What the fuck is that? Another lady that was walking out here naked. Now, everybody just ain't walking out here naked. This is just what happened. Now, it's another lady that was walking out here naked. Police came, picked her up, took her up the street, not too far, let her out the car. Gave her like a cover or something to put on or whatever. And she was still walking outside naked. Another dude, right? A male, came out here, threatened to kill everybody and all of this shit. Running up on the police with a stick. Black man with a stick. Hitting shit and all of that shit. You feel what I'm saying? They are letting these individuals out of the mental institutions, you feel what I'm saying, to mask the missing people that they're taking up off the street. I don't really want to get into all of that. I'm just telling you that when I say that I'm a God amongst men, that's what I truly mean. Because that man didn't know, he didn't know what he was getting himself into. He didn't know. So he just said, fuck it, I'm gonna leave it alone. Because it's probably one of these slow motherfuckers. That's how I took it. That's what the spirit told me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know what the fuck is going on. And while a lot of motherfuckers be talking about shit like this or whatever and all that shit, they on the right track. But I mean, it's gonna keep happening. You feel what I'm saying? If you were to do something to stop it, talking about it, they go stop it. You have to do something about it. But yeah, man, this shit is happening, man. They snatching motherfuckers up, you know, for these little rituals or whatever and all that shit, you know, to get the melanin or whatever to help sustain life or whatever. As well as you know what the fuck is going on. You get what I'm saying? You know our spiritual energy is rising up and all of that shit or whatever. So if a motherfucker can get a piece of that or whatever, you never know what the fuck they can do with that. They try to keep us here, man. They try to keep us here. And they know there's nothing they can do about it. There's a new strain of COVID that's mutated. Mutation is a natural happening in nature. You feel what I'm saying? They weren't black and mutated into white people. That's ain't no such thing as that. That's genetic modification. You feel what I'm saying? That's monkey fucking. That's where the monkeys come from. That's monkey fucking right there. Actual white ape, Neanderthals. That's monkey fucking right there. Yeah, that's how they came about. Yeah, it's science for your ass. That's science. So, but it's funny how sex is in science, right? Watch this. It takes however many sperm cells, not takes, but you shooting out however many sperm cells in the dick, right? I'm gonna tell you how cold we is on our mission, okay? We travel through the triple stages of darkness, the dark waterways of the black woman's womb. This black portal, this black hole, we travel through this, right? We choose our parents. You feel what I'm saying? Let me tell you how parasitic and predatory we are. So we scout. Okay, he looked right. Okay, she looked right. Okay, let's make something happen. Now, we get them together. Now they fucking. You feel what I'm saying? He busts his little nut, you know, cosmic explosion, supernova explosion. What you call that? A tomb sneezing. You feel what I'm saying? Or a tomb ejaculating. You have all of these sperm cells traveling to this egg, right? To this nesting pot. Incubation center. Now, the woman's body, this mechanism, right? The apparatus to be able to experience human life is killing or trying to kill, but she's killing a lot of them, killing these sperm cells. And you gotta travel. You gotta swim. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta swim, you gotta travel through this motherfucking portal. This is a holocaust you're going through. This is genocide. You feel what I'm saying? Because all of you, speaking of the sperm cells, all of you, right, are traveling. You're not the only one that's conscious. All of these sperm cells are conscious and aware of themselves. And they're trying to make it to do what they're trying to do. See, because they chose these people as well. But who's strong enough to make it through there? You were, because you're here today. And you didn't die off like all the other sperm cells that died off, that died trying to make it, and died once you made it inside of the incubation center. You feel what I'm saying? So, niggas be talking about how fucked up it is and all of this shit, nigga. We go through death just to get here. We go through death just to get here, man. And the female is trying to kill our body off, kill us off the entire time. But you know what we do? We fight that. If she eats something we don't like, bitch, throw that shit up. We craving certain things. This is how you know babies, us, we've been here already. Why the fuck does a female crave certain things before that she's never ate before in a certain form, right? Because the baby wants this. But this is a baby. This motherfucker ain't even here. This baby ain't even a baby yet. You feel what I'm saying? this bitch still pregnant. It's because these certain concoctions or whatever and all that shit are for certain formulas. For certain formulas, for the baby. We can get into detail. We don't have to. Cause none of that shit matters. What matters is, nigga, you had to die to get here. You gotta die to leave. But when you got here, you were prepared because you got here. You're not prepared to get out of here, though. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to die to leave, but you have to escape this motherfucker, though. You feel what I'm saying? In order to do that, you have to get back in alignment with who you were before you got here. You feel what I'm talking about? Not who you became since you've been here. Because who you became since you've been here, who you were raised up to be, are a collective of false idols that you identify with. None of that shit means anything. Your primal instinct is to survive. And absolute survival is making it up out of here. And if that was built on the foundation of primal predator instinct, right? Or predator nature, that means you have to consume. You have to absorb. You get what I'm saying? I don't mean you have to consume people. You have to consume light. What is light? What is true light? True light is the darkness. What is darkness? Darkness is the uncreated potential. Okay? Let's get this right. Uncreated potential. The potential of anything. For anything. Do anything. You know what I'm saying? This is unformed, uncreated matter. Dark matter. That you can manipulate because you are a part of. You feel what I'm saying? Your very essence is that. You are that. So you can comprehend it and manipulate it to your liking. That's what this is. Or that's what that is. What this is a little portion of that, a little piece of that, put into someone else's order or fashioned to someone else's liking. Or something. You feel what I'm saying? And that is against what you are because you come from the unformed, the uncreate. You feel what I'm saying? This has the potential for nothing because you have to tap back into your primal instincts, the uncreated potential, just to manipulate this shit. If you went about this shit how it was supposed to be, because there is a way it's supposed to be, because this is creation. Creation is supposed to be done out in order, right? That's if you living by it. But you are not that. You are not to identify with this body. This body is along with creation. Still. That's why you tap into what's inside. So you can get a physical experience, a physical happening. That's what most people want. But ultimately it's to get the fuck up out of here. So that's where we're from. And you have to consume that. True light. The parts of yourself that you hide, that you scared to show, you have to start embracing them. You have to start respecting them. You get what I'm saying? Because that's your true self. And they kick you in your ass if you keep abusing it, keep not acknowledging it. See, we black people, right? And as black people, you know, we feel abused and we're angry and we're traumatized because we're not being acknowledged for what we endured, right? It's the same thing for the uh, the true self, the hidden child, the inner being, who you are on the inside. Because just like you created false idols, right, or whatever, those false idols, right, protect the different aspects of yourself. So it's multiple false idols. It's multiple aspects of yourself to create the one being. It's not one way to explain who you are because nigga, we are God. And God wasn't one being. It was Michael, he who dares to be God. Lucifer, the face of God. You feel what I'm saying? The most beautiful God, the pineal gland. You get what I'm talking about? It's all of this shit. And you have to tap into who you truly are. See, all these light, dark, demons, angels, spirits, deities, entities, all these concepts and techniques are to help you build a level of spiritual perception. When you tap into the dark aspects of yourself, you get ancient names that was once hidden, that's unknown to society now, that can help you do your bidding in the world. That's now. When you consume light and energy, you feel what I'm saying, via the sun, via nature, via deities, meditation and all that shit or whatever, you gain a certain aspect of power. You feel what I'm saying? A level of consciousness that you didn't have prior to tapping into these techniques. You feel what I'm saying? And once you get all of that shit, it further helps you how to move throughout life. True life. Because this shit right here isn't life. This shit was set up for you. And you think it's life. You feel what I'm talking about? See, a nigga tell you, man, we gotta come together to make a change. But in all reality, you just have to change your perception. You feel what I'm saying? To be able to change your reality to how you want it. Whatever you want, it does not matter. Whatever you want. You might not like this people, you might not like this, so you have to change your reality and take them up out of that reality. Make them cease to exist. Once that happens, it starts to happen for you. And then you start to see like, damn, I'm controlling this. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what else I can do. Let me do this, let me do that, let me do this, let me do that. And then you start to gain more ideas. That's why it's good to learn more languages. You feel what I'm saying? You learn different languages or whatever. This lighter mean 3 different things, or have 3 different meanings and 5 different definitions or whatever the fuck, whatever. But it gives you the ability to come up with new concepts, have new ideas, and form new systems and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like education or whatever. Shit that we had like back in the day. This is why we had advanced systems like that, because we created the language like Latin, Hebrew, Greek. You feel what I'm saying? Shit like that. We created all that shit. You feel me? So that just goes to show how great the mind is, then and now. Because like I said, when I gave a shout out to the guy earlier, Jesse Russell, this man is the reason we have cell phones, man. Digital cell phones, man. Come on, that shit's crazy as fuck. It's not crazy because it shouldn't really be a surprise, but it's just like, damn, and he's still alive. So it's not like the God dead. You feel what I'm saying? That, you know, they can tarnish his name. It's like that motherfucker still kicking. But I really wanted to talk to y'all about the Lions Gates portal. Don't miss out on that energy. Sirius rises, and if you've never seen Sirius, if you're familiar with what do you call that, Orion, when you see the 3 stars, right, it goes down, So you see the 1, 2, 3 stars in Orion's belt or whatever, and then you just look down, and it's the brightest star out there. And then that's Sirius. And you could do all types of stargazing. See, that's another thing. The Egyptians or the Kemites or whatever, when they stargazed, they weren't stargazing to the sun. They were stargazing to Sirius. That's what a lot of individuals don't know. Real Io, so with your Sirius energy. Because we come from Sirius. And what I mean by we come from Sirius, see, individuals think, oh, we come from Sirius, so they looking at the planet out there. That's just as above, so below. I'm talking about Sirius and your mind. You feel what I'm talking about? This is where we come from. Sirius B. Now, you might have individuals that say they come from here, or they come from there, or they come from here, or they come from there. Know that all that shit is a part of this universe. Everything in the known universe. But when I talk about the concept of Sirius, I'm talking about the concept of the mind, the true heaven. See, because what you know to be reality is a series of dreams, and if we are the only gods that exist in the universe, and we feel like this is real, you gotta be logical on. Imagine how many gods are entering the motherfucking world right now, and how many gods are already here. So if all of us think that this is real, we're gonna project what this is. This is why they give you certain ideas and different ideas on commercials and TV and shit like that, so you can project a new reality. You're creating the reality. All they're doing is just giving you the instructions on how to do it, and by how to do it, not even how to do, what to do. You get what I'm saying? They just telling you, hey, do this, and you do it, not even knowing what you're doing or whatever, and then they tell you that this is gonna happen, but you make it happen. See, you're living inside of your brain, and this is why I told you you have to change your perception, because when you learn to not perceive this as much as you do, and perceive your reality or whatever, you start to have different experiences outside of this reality. You feel what I'm saying? You'll start having experiences, the experiences that you want, the experiences that you're looking for, because you're only living up in here. So when I'm talking about serious, when you leave or whatever and all of that shit, that's where you're going to. You go into that reality, that dimension. So you got to build up your light body for that world, because that world only exists because of you. But that world can only exist outside of here, truly. That's when you can truly do whatever the fuck you want to do, because you're trying to build that world now while you're living in another false reality. So you have to accommodate for this physical body and everybody else around you and all this other bullshit, as well as try to focus on your own reality, your own world and dimension. You're God. You gotta be God. And you gotta know when to be God and how to be God. But the first step is balance. That's with anything. When you learning something, when you're doing a technique, that's with anything, man. You gotta have balance, man. Absolute balance. But don't forget, man, August 8th, man, Sirius rises, and that's the day when it starts. Tap in. I think it stays to like July. You know what I'm saying? So get that energy, man, for sure. Peace.